Hey everyone, welcome back to EnglishPop, the podcast that makes learning English fun, easy, and totally stress-free.
What's up, English learners? I'm Fred.
And I'm Zenal, and today we've got something super special for all you beginners out there.
Oh, yes. Today we're tackling something that sounds simple, but actually trips up a lot of people.
Dramatic pause, talking about yourself.
I know. You're thinking, Fred, I've been talking about myself since I was 2 years old.
Right? But here's the thing. Doing it in English, especially when you're just starting out, can feel like you're trying to juggle while riding a bicycle.
Exactly. So today we're going to break it down step by step. By the end of this episode, you'll be introducing yourself like a pro.
And we're going to make it fun. We've got examples, we've got tips, we've got some embarrassing stories.
Hey, we agreed you wouldn't mention...
Too late! All right, everyone, grab your notebooks, get comfortable, and let's dive in.
Okay, so let's start with the absolute basics. When you meet someone new in English, what's the first thing you say?
Your name. And there are actually a few different ways to do this.
Right. The most common and simple way is, "Hi, I'm Fred," or "Hello, I'm Zenal."
Super easy, right? But here's a little tip. Native speakers usually use contractions. So instead of saying, I am Fred, we say, I'm Fred. It sounds more natural and friendly.
Good point. Now, you might also hear people say, "My name is Fred." Both are totally correct.
Yes, my name is sounds a tiny bit more formal, while I'm is more casual. But honestly, both work great in most situations.
Now, after you say your name, people often want to know where you're from. Zenal, how do you say this?
Great question. The most common way is I'm from, and then your city or country. For example, I'm from Tokyo, Japan, or I'm from Brazil.
Perfect. And if someone asks you, "Where are you from?" that's your cue to answer with this structure.
Exactly. Let me give you a full example. Hi, I'm Zenal. I'm from Mumbai, India.
Nice. And I would say, "Hello, I'm Fred. I'm from Chicago."
See how easy that is? Just 2 sentences and you've already told someone who you are and where you're from.
Now, here's a little bonus tip. If you're living in a different country from where you were born, you can say, "I'm from Brazil, but I live in Canada now."
Ooh, that's a good one. So the structure is I'm from place, but I live in place now.
Exactly. This is super useful because a lot of people travel or move for work or school.
All right, let's practice. Listeners, pause the episode right now and say out loud, Hi, I'm your name. I'm from your city or country.
Don't be shy. Actually say it out loud. Speaking practice is so important.
Great. Now let's move on to talking about what you do.
Okay, so after name and origin, the next thing people usually ask is, what do you do?
Right, and this can mean your job, your studies, or your main activity. Let's start with jobs.
If you have a job, you can say, I'm a teacher, or I work as a teacher. Both are correct.
Good examples. Notice with I'm a, you use the article a before the job. I'm a doctor, I'm a nurse, I'm an engineer.
Oh, and Zenal said an engineer. That's because when the next word starts with a vowel sound, we use an instead of a.
Great catch. So it's a teacher, but an accountant. A lawyer, but an artist.
Now, what if you're a student?
Easy. You say, I'm a student. And if you want to be more specific, you can add what you're studying. I'm a student, I study medicine. Or I'm studying computer science.
Perfect. And notice the difference. I study is present tense. I'm studying is present continuous. Both work, but I'm studying emphasizes that you're currently doing this.
You can also mention where you study. I'm a student at Harvard University, or I study at Tokyo University.
Nice. Now, what if you don't work or study? Maybe you're retired, or looking for a job, or taking care of family.
Great question. You can say, I'm currently looking for work, or I'm between jobs right now.
And if you're a stay-at-home parent, you can say, I take care of my children, or I'm a stay-at-home mom or dad.
There's no shame in any of these. Be honest and confident about your situation.
Absolutely. Now here's where it gets fun. You can add details to make your introduction more interesting. Instead of just, I'm a teacher, you could say, I'm a high school teacher. I teach history.
Ooh, yes, that's much more engaging. Or, I'm a software engineer. I work for a tech company in San Francisco.
See how adding just one more sentence makes you sound more interesting and gives the other person something to ask about?
Exactly. People love having conversation hooks. If you say you teach history, they might ask, what period of history do you like best?
Let's practice. Everyone listening, say out loud, I'm your job. Or, I'm a student, I study your subject.
Add one more detail if you can. Make it interesting.
All right, let's talk about age. Now this is interesting because in some cultures, asking about age is normal, but in others it's considered rude.
So true. In English-speaking countries, especially with adults, people don't always share their age right away.
Right, but if you're in a situation where you need to share your age, maybe filling out a form, or you're young and meeting other young people, here's how you do it.
The simple structure is, I'm number years old. For example, I'm 25 years old.
Or you can just say, I'm 25. You don't always need to say years old. People will understand.
Now, if someone asks your age and you don't want to share, you can politely say, I'd rather not say. Or even make a joke like, I'm 21, plus shipping and handling.
Zenal, that's terrible.
I know. But humor is a good way to deflect uncomfortable questions.
Fair enough. Just remember, listeners, if you're talking to someone from an English-speaking country and they seem uncomfortable when you ask their age, it's not personal. It's just a cultural thing.
Okay, now we're getting to the fun stuff. Hobbies and interests. This is where you really get to show your personality.
I love this part. When you talk about your hobbies, you become more than just a name and a job. You become a real person.
Exactly. So the most common way to talk about hobbies is I like or I love, and then your hobby.
For example, I like playing basketball, or I love reading books.
Notice that after like or love, we use the ing form of the verb. I like playing. I love cooking. I enjoy swimming.
This is called a gerund, but don't worry about the grammar term. Just remember like, love, enjoy, plus verb ing.
Another way to talk about hobbies is in my free time, for example, in my free time, I play video games.
Or in my free time, I watch movies. Or in my free time, I go hiking.
See? Super simple. You can also use I'm interested in. For example, I'm interested in photography.
Good one. And here's a fun phrase. I'm into. This is very casual. It means you really like something. I'm into rock climbing. Or I'm into anime.
Ooh, yes. I'm into sounds cool and natural. Just remember it's casual, so maybe not for a job interview.
Right. Save it for friends and informal situations.
Now, you can make this even better by adding details. Instead of just, I like reading, try, I love reading, especially mystery novels.
Perfect. Or instead of I like music, say, I'm really into music. I play guitar in a band.
See how much more interesting that is? You're giving people something to connect with you about.
And here's a pro tip.
try to mention 2 to 3 hobbies. It makes you sound well-rounded.
Great advice. So you could say, in my free time, I enjoy cooking, playing tennis, and learning languages.
Beautiful. Now, what if you don't have typical hobbies? What if you just like chilling at home?
Totally fine. You can say, I like spending time with my family, or I enjoy watching Netflix and relaxing.
Exactly. There's no wrong answer here. Just be honest about what you actually enjoy.
All right, listeners, your turn. Say out loud, I like, and then name 3 things you enjoy doing.
And try to add a detail to at least one of them.
Okay, Fred, this next section is super important, but often overlooked. Describing your personality.
Yes, this is how people really get to know you, but it can be tricky because you don't want to sound like you're bragging.
Right. The key is to be honest and balanced. So let's learn some useful adjectives for describing personality.
Perfect. If you're social and like being around people, you can say, I'm outgoing, or I'm friendly.
If you're more reserved, you could say, I'm quiet, or I'm more of an introvert.
And there's nothing wrong with being an introvert. It just means you recharge by being alone.
Absolutely. Other good personality words, I'm creative, I'm organized, I'm reliable, I'm easygoing.
Those are all positive traits. You can also mention things you're working on. I can be a bit shy, but I'm working on being more confident.
Oh, I love that. It shows self-awareness and growth. Very mature.
Another way to describe yourself is through your interests. I'm a creative person. I love art and design.
Or, I'm pretty active. I'm always playing sports or going to the gym.
See, you're connecting your personality to concrete examples. That makes it more believable and interesting.
Here's a fun structure. People say I'm... This is a nice way to share positive things without sounding like you're bragging.
Good one. People say I'm funny, or people say I'm a good listener.
Exactly. It's humble, but still shares good information about you.
Now, you don't need to give your whole personality profile in your first introduction. Just 1 or 2 traits are enough.
Right. Save some mystery for later.
Exactly. All right, listeners, pick 1 or 2 words that describe your personality and practice saying, I'm adjective, or people say I'm adjective.
Okay, everyone, we've covered a lot. Now, let's put it all together into one smooth introduction.
This is where the magic happens. We're going to combine everything we've learned into a natural-sounding introduction.
Let me go first. Here's my introduction. Hi, I'm Zenal. I'm from Mumbai, India, but I live in London now. I'm a teacher. I teach English to adults. In my free time, I love reading, especially fantasy novels, and I'm really into yoga. People say I'm pretty outgoing and easy to talk to.
Perfect. That was smooth, natural, and interesting. Now here's mine. Hey, I'm Fred. I'm originally from Chicago, but I've been living in New York for 5 years. I work as a graphic designer for a marketing agency. When I'm not working, I'm usually playing basketball or trying out new restaurants. I'm a huge foodie. I'm pretty laid back and I love meeting new people.
See how we did that? We included our names, where we're from, what we do, our hobbies, and a bit about our personalities.
And it didn't sound like we were reading from a script or filling out a form. It sounded natural, like we were just chatting.
That's the key. You want your introduction to flow naturally. You don't have to include everything at once.
Right. Maybe in one conversation you mention your hobbies, and in another you talk more about your work. It depends on the context.
Exactly. Read the situation. If you're at a job interview, spend more time on your professional side. If you're at a party, focus on fun stuff.
Great point. Context is everything.
Now, let's talk about the order. You don't have to follow the exact order we used. Mix it up.
True. You could start with something interesting. Hey, I'm Fred.
I'm a huge basketball fan. I play 3 times a week. I work as a graphic designer in New York.
Ooh, starting with your hobby makes you sound more interesting right away.
Right? It's a conversation starter.
Okay, listeners, here's your big challenge. We want you to write out your complete introduction using everything we've talked about today. Include your name, where you're from, what you do, 2 to 3 hobbies or interests, and maybe 1 personality trait.
And here's the best part. If you want feedback, share your introduction in the comments. We love hearing from you guys.
And speaking of connecting with you all, if you're enjoying EnglishPop and these lessons are helping you, please subscribe to our channel. It really helps us reach more English learners like you.
Yes, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a new episode. We post new content every day.
Before we go, let's share some quick bonus tips.
Yes! First tip, practice your introduction out loud, not just in your head. Speaking is different from thinking.
So true. I recommend standing in front of a mirror and introducing yourself. It feels silly, but it works.
Second tip, record yourself. Use your phone to record your introduction, then listen back. You'll notice things you can improve.
Great idea. Third tip, don't memorize word for word. You want to sound natural, not like a robot.
Instead, memorize the key points and let yourself be flexible with the exact words.
Fourth tip, use connecting words to make your introduction flow better. Words like and, but, also, especially.
For example, I'm from Brazil, but I live in Canada now. I'm a student and I study engineering. I also love playing soccer.
See how those connecting words make everything flow so much better?
Yes! Fifth tip, smile when you introduce yourself. Even on the phone or in a video call, people can hear a smile in your voice.
That's so true. It makes you sound friendly and approachable.
Sixth tip, make eye contact if you're introducing yourself in person. It shows confidence.
But not too intense. You're not in a staring contest.
Right, natural eye contact. Look at the person, look away sometimes, look back.
Last tip, and this is important, don't stress if you make mistakes. Native speakers make mistakes too. The important thing is communication.
Absolutely. Nobody expects perfection. Just be yourself and do your best.
Wow, what a journey! We've covered so much today.
I know. We talked about saying your name, where you're from, what you do, your hobbies, your personality, and how to put it all together.
And remember, this is just the beginning. Once you can introduce yourself well, you're opening the door to so many conversations and friendships.
Every fluent English speaker started exactly where you are now. Every single one.
So be patient with yourself. Practice every day, even if it's just for 5 minutes.
And use every opportunity. Introduce yourself to the cashier, your Uber driver, people in online games, anywhere you can practice.
Yes, the more you do it, the more natural it becomes.
All right, everyone. Before we say goodbye, remember to subscribe to EnglishPop if you haven't already.
Give us a thumbs up if this episode helped you, and leave a comment telling us where you're from. We love hearing from our listeners around the world.
And if you have topics you want us to cover in future episodes, let us know. This podcast is for you.
We'll be back next week with another awesome lesson. Until then, keep practicing.
Keep learning.
And keep popping with EnglishPop.
Bye, everyone.
See you next time.